Everyone, this is Ivan Verloon for the 220 at 220generation.com. We've just spoken about how you personally could prepare for the first couple of meetings and from then on as well. Right now we want to talk about how you handle or what should you do in the first 3 or so meetings. This is the ideal. You want to plan properly for about 3 weeks non-stop and put everything into that planning. Then have like a soft opening for you to get used to the structure of the meeting and work out all the bugs that are there. This is a practice in any business, any club, any big place that want to make a success. Have like 2 weeks of practice for that, and then your official grand opening. That's when, if you can, where you put out flyers and introduce it and go on the web and do all sorts of kind of marketing to get the thing off the ground, so that everybody on the ground, there's a buzz about this first meeting of yours. From the moment you start planning to your official proper opening night, there should be about 5 or 6 weeks passing. Now obviously you've gone through all the videos that we spoke about, and you've planned and all that kind of stuff. That's very, very important for you to work through all that stuff and plan properly and make sure that everything is done pat. And then practice a little bit, having a couple of meetings with a couple of friends or whatever, and then have your official opening where everything is working, everybody knows their place, everybody knows what's going on. 5 or 6 weeks might sound a lot, but that is how it should be, because proper planning prevents poor performance. You want to perform properly and you want to make sure that everything is 100%. Now the meeting has started. You're having your first meeting. When you do this, do a couple of things. First, like I said before, trust God for prophetic insight. You want God to tell you what's the mood, what is happening around, which kids are there. You know, God can show you all this stuff. So if you're prayed up and you've listened to God and you spend time with Him and in the presence of God, He'll show you exactly what's necessary, what's needed. Be led by the Holy Ghost at all times as well. Then get into the flow of the meeting. You know, it's like jumping into a river and then swimming downstream. You need to get into the thing and then start flowing with the stream. Otherwise, you'll just find yourself like a salmon going against the grain, and that's not good, because you'll just suffer and have problems. Now, we're going to talk about leadership soon, but all through the meetings and every time you have a meeting, you must remember that your leadership is your counsel. My leadership, I call them the counsel, and there's a good reason for that, because I consult them before and after every meeting on what they thought and how they experienced the meeting. For instance, what is the word on the ground? What do people say? And then what you do is you use this information and then adjust your program and the run sheet and all your planning according to that. If an element, this is very important, if an element or an idea that you used or instituted, if it bumped out once, do not use it or try it again. Because if it failed once, it will fail again. Why? You could obviously do some damage control and see what you did wrong and everything, but let me give you an idea, an example. Once we had a youth meeting. You see, all of these elements are so crucial. They are so important to sort of capture the imagination of the young people. One night we decided, okay, we're just going to watch a movie, and we watched a performance or a DVD. It was about 2.5, 3 hours long, and after that our attendance dwindled, and 2 or 3 weeks after that we sat with 6 people. So I know personally, a movie on the night when to go out for movies is fine. To have movie nights at your house is fine. To go out and social at the mall and watch movies there, that's fine. But don't do movies. For me personally, I don't do movies at youth when I'm supposed to do a meeting, because it doesn't work for me. So for instance, something like that happens, don't do it again, because, you know, a person that does something and it doesn't work, and he does the same thing again and again and again, expecting different results, that's called insanity. So we don't want to be insane. We want to just work on our things and make a success of it. Now, you personally, you need to build your own confidence, because your first meeting will probably be like performing. When the artist performs the first time, all they see is a crowd, there's a sea, faces looking at you, lots of pressure, don't know what to expect, that kind of thing. That's what you're going to face the first time, and it is difficult, but don't be afraid of making a fool of yourself. Making a fool of yourself is not wrong. The worst you can do is making out like you're this cool cat and there's nothing wrong, and you're not a person, you try to be like Eminem or someone professional, and you're not, it's your first time or whatever. Just be a normal person, they'll appreciate that. Then, it's important to connect with them, connect your personality with them, connect on their level. Look at what's going on around you, draw from that, draw from the culture, and be relevant to them through the meeting. Your elements are fixed, but you can be flexible and work around a lot of stuff, and you can constantly change your ideas. If you see something's not working, or you see you don't have that respect and authority to get people to work in groups and whatever, there's a lot of other stuff you can use, and always adapt and make sure that everything works out fine. Suss out the kids. Try and establish on what level they are spiritually. You'll find out. I was blessed, the previous youth ministry we built, we had a lot of kids come there with very spiritual, and they were on a great level, and we could really go for God and preach and whatever. But the place where we are now, they need foundation. They need to get to the simplicities of the gospel, and most of them don't really even know the Bible who have read it before. So we need to work on that at where we are now. So find out what level they are spiritually. You'll find basically 4 levels that I can think of. They'll be needing foundation, they'll be mid-level, they'll be mature Christians, always developing, or they'll be very spiritual. And find out where they are, and then use that to plan your meetings and all that kind of stuff. Now all these things that you've established and the info that you've got, use it in planning your next couple of meetings to make it a success, to up your game, to make sure that you're better. Let them know before the meeting starts, or in the announcements. Just, in the announcements you'll have a list, and you'll sort of ramble on and talk to them about what you're planning and what's the ministry all about and what you want to do and who's there, who's not there, all that kind of thing. But while you do that, I usually do it in the announcements. Let them know that it's all about them. It's important for you to let the kids know that ministry is their youth ministry. It's not your youth ministry, because if it's your youth ministry, what you'll end up doing is you'll do all the stuff, you'll move all the chairs, you'll prepare everything, you'll have to be the prince, the pauper, and the joker of the place, and you don't want that. You want participation and everybody to be involved in the meeting. So let them know it's all about them. Let them know it's their youth meeting, it's their youth. Making it or failing is up to them. It's not, take the pressure off yourself, it's their youth ministry. It's not to sort of put the responsibility on them. Of course you're responsible, but if they don't take ownership and make the youth ministry their own, the whole thing will probably fail. Remember, also let them know that you are there to serve them. Okay, be open for them to come talk to you, to minister to them, to pray to them, counsel them. If something's too hectic, we spoke about it before, I think, something's too hectic, then make time to speak to them another time or whatever. Also encourage them to draw from you. You're going to be there and you're going to minister to them and all that kind of stuff. Encourage them to draw from you, to sort of, pull out of you everything that you know, and prophecy and engaging and all that kind of stuff. They need to feel comfortable with you, because if you don't, they will not receive from you, and your youth ministry will fail in 3 weeks. Flat, easy. Be open, let them draw from you. Finally, your goal is this. Give them in the meeting and the elements and everything on your plan. Give them just enough so that they'll want to come back next week for more. This is Ivan Vlieen for the 220 at 220generation.com.